How's everyone today? Can you believe it's Monday again? Boy, is the time flying by. Today's a very windy day, a little bit warmer, which is nice, like we are spring, so that is great. So my name is Anita Mazzero and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria. And I come to you live every Monday, and that way you get to see a little crafting idea that I will have for you. So if you are watching, sorry, I'm just getting this live. If you're watching, you'll see the little live button if you're on Facebook, but I also do upload it to YouTube, as it only stays on Facebook for 30 days. So anyway, please pop on, say hello if you're there, so that I know you're here, that I'm just not talking to myself, looking stupid. Anyway, so that's what it is today. So today I'm going to do a card that I think is a great way to kick off the Christmas cards, because it is getting to that time of year where we're doing Christmas. I did something last week, which was on the Christmas theme, because from now on, if you just do one or two a week, you'll get a supply done. You might decide on one particular card for everybody, or you might like different ones. But I'm going to show you some different ideas and you can use that from there. So I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to talk about what suite I'm using and what's going on from there. So just be with me as I flip the camera down and get it correct for you to see what's going on. Okay. Now, 4th of October is World Card Making Day. And World Card Making Day is an event that's open for everyone. And it's online, and you will craft with people from our head office. So this time they're using the handmade and heartfelt kit. And this kit comes with its very sturdy little box that you can put your cards in. You've got the cards, you've got beautiful sentiments, hello sunshine, happy birthday, thinking of you, wishing you all the best, to and from, and thanks very much. A great little set, and that's $56. So if you're interested in joining on, unfortunately I'm not doing an in-person event here this year, but you can join on. So it's from 2 till 3 on the 4th of October. If you message me, I can give you the link, or you just jump onto the Stampin' Up website and register yourself for it. So when you register, you're entitled to watch it. You'll get a link and everything else, and then it's there for you to watch back. So that's something worth looking at. I'll be interested to see what they do when I watch the replay. Okay, then we have our mini catalogue. It's out and about. I hope you've all got yours. I've handed mine to all my customers and posted the ones that have needed to go to anyone that needs one. It's a brilliant catalogue. It's got beautiful scrapbooking ideas, as well as card making ideas, as well as kits, etc. So if you're running short on something, I would be surprised. So there's also a heap of products in our online exclusives as well. So today I am going to work with the suite collection called Traditions of Christmas. And this is a really nice set. I'm not using the embossing folder today, but I am using from the labels, from the Christmas greenery, using some of the dies from here. I'm using the beautiful sparkling sequins, and I'm using the red ribbon. I'm not using any of the paper, but I want to show you the paper because it is just just so beautiful. Get it out of its packet so you can see. Rightio, look at that. Beautiful red and gold paper. Really, really stunning. And then the reverse is a much softer, no gold in it, just the green. You can tell I've been in this pack and pulled it apart. So there's those two pieces together. Then we have, I think it might just come out a little bit. Just, that's a bit better. Then we have these branches, or these bunches of flowers, which can be die cut. And then again, a nice soft green underneath. Then we have these beautiful poinsettia bunches. And on the back side, we've got the Secret Sea, my favourite colour. Then we have some more poinsettias. These have got the gold. So side A's got the gold, side B has got a plainer. So we've got the red. Then we've got this one with the Secret Sea in the background. We've got some cloud cover. We've got the red. Might even be a bit of Lost Lagoon in there. And then you've got the check. And we've got another lot of poinsettias and some more Secret Sea. So it is beautiful, beautiful papers. I absolutely love this one. So keep an eye out, because when I get to work on what I want to do with that paper, I will show you. These are the sequins. Aren't they just stunning? They're really, really flat, so you can see that by there, that they are really flat and just absolutely gorgeous. So it's a really nice set for that. Still haven't quite got my, that looks a bit better. So as I said, I'm using the Merry Christmas out of the traditional labels, and I'm using these two stamp sets out of the Christmas greenery. So the dies in these, so in the label dies, that Merry Christmas unfortunately doesn't come out. It has labels like so. So that's all you'll see. The different types of labels and that. So I haven't used them, I haven't played with them yet, so but they do match 90% of the labels that are in the set. And then today we're using the Traditions of Christmas. So as you can see, we've got two that will cut out the flowers. You've got standalone hollies and bows and berries. You've got lots of standalone, so you can create from that. Hello, Jacinta, how are you? How are you feeling today? I hope you're feeling a lot better and that the drugs have kicked in. So this is what I've pre-die cut for you. So I've got my pack here. No, get them out of the way. And I'm going to start with a scrap piece of paper. I'll bring in my Pierce mat, because my Pierce mat is required with photopolymer. And the photopolymer is absolutely beautiful. Not only can you see through it, it does a lot. So I'm going to just stamp on this one, because I actually want the bunch of flowers, because we're going to die cut it. Plenty, take all my fingerprints off it, because I don't want them interfering with it. Oh, so the painkillers are not really helping you, love. It's not good to hear. I bet Maisie's sitting on your knee the whole time, enjoying your company at home. You probably don't even feel like her being there. Right, we will pop that on there. I'm going to emboss this in gold. Take that and pop that through. Make sure when you're embossing that you do get your embossing powder over all of your design. And before you bring in the heat gun, and something must be wrong on my stamp. There's lots and lots of little, hello Glinda, how are you? I've got lots of little furries. So I'm just going to get in here and pull them out because it doesn't make for a very pretty site. Yes, I know I'm going to die cut it, but, you know, it doesn't make for a very pretty. So the putty end, I found the putty end of my take your pick tool works really well at getting those fine little pieces. So you can get them out. Just making sure I've got most of it, because I am planning to colour this and we're cutting it out, so it will hide some of it, but being embossed, we want to get rid of it. So that just went really bad. But we can work with that. So I'll get my heat gun and heat this up. And then we will watch the magic. Any minute now, we will start to see the magic of embossing, where it just pops through and starts to colour in beautifully. Or it doesn't colour in, that's the wrong word I'm using. It actually embosses and changes colour from, look, it was a dull looking colour, but now I've got this beautiful gold. Making sure every bit of it's embossed. All right. While I've got this piece of paper, I'm going to also stamp and emboss in gold the sentiment. So while I've got this, I might as well work on it all at the same time. I have used this and embossed on it, but I'm going to use my buddy again. And the reason for that is because, you know, there could be more fingerprints from where I've been holding it. So I'm going to take the word Mary, and where did I put? And I'm going to stamp Mary. And because the two words are separate, I will pop and now heat emboss this. And again, we get to watch the magic. And I'll be honest with you, I was not a heat embosser. I actually was not very comfortable with it. So it was something that frightened me, really. But once I got the hang of it, I'm not frightened anymore. And it is practice that makes it worthwhile. Stamp the word Christmas. And then I'm going to heat emboss this as well. So I know what you've been up to, Jacinta, but Glenda, what have you been up to over the weekend and since I've last spoken to you? Okay, going to get my scrub. So I want to do one more piece of embossing. But seeing this was just being a little bit silly, I'm leaving me awful marks. Use my stamp and scrub and take off anything that might be causing the problem. Put that away. So I'm going to get my insert and I'm going to, not two pieces, so this is this one. I'm just scrubbing here in the corner because I want to stamp this. And I'm going to use more the top half. I'm not worried about the flowers at the bottom, so I'm just going to be putting this on a bit of an angle. And I'm going to pop that in here. So I've got a bit of embossing to do today. Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting some more pain meds, Jack, because, yeah, you need them. Right, let's get this embossed. So as I said, there's a little bit of embossing to do in this one. I could have had it all done, but then we would have only been here for 10 minutes. You're making Christmas cards. It's a good time of the year to start rather than leave it to the last minute. Okay. Just make sure it's all done. So I've done the insert. And now I've got the last one to do. And this is the front of the card. I'll move these out of the way because I don't need these anymore. Clean these up later. So I'm going to use the big one. And I'm going to use this big one so that we can use it across the page. So I want to probably go a bit more like that. So I'm going to put the bunch of flowers that way, but I want to emboss this. So it's going to have a lot of gold in this. Stamp it again. And I just want to try and get that. So I've got a fair bit there. And I've got it right. Okay. Pop my lid back on this. So this is the last piece of embossing. Just making sure that we get it, tap it all the way around, that every bit's covered. There we go. Get my brush. I don't know if it's my gold embossing powder that's causing the problems because it's leaving a mess. Which could be because that's the original one that I have had for probably 16, 17 years, if not 20 years. Got that there, so now I'll emboss this. And I do know they don't last after a while. Get this. Footy season's over, isn't it, Jacinta? For our district league. The Winra League played this weekend, their grand final. It is this weekend, their grand final. And then the weekend after, we've got the AFL grand final. So grand finals are happening everywhere. Right, there's that. So that's my front. Now, with the magic of television, I have pre-cut. The only thing I haven't is this. I've pre-cut this out because this is going to sit like so. But before we do it, I want to colour it. So I'll get my blends. I should grab a scrap of paper. Because it means I won't have to worry about picking it up later on. So I've grabbed two colours for this one. So what I've done is I've gone and grabbed some real red in the light and dark. Oh, you nearly had the boys this weekend of the Wimmera. Fingers crossed. Okay, and I've got granny apple green. So I'm going to start with the dark and get my fine tip in. I like to use the fine tip end instead of the brush tip. I find I can control it more. So I'm just going to put just a little bit in each leaf. I might leave it off while I'm doing it and then come in and pick up the rest of it. Because to me these particular flowers look like a poppy. And because they look like a poppy, that's why I'm using them in. And look, poppies can be, could have done a pink one, could have done all sorts of colours. I'll just pick this up. So start with the dark and bring in the light. You can use the light first as your base, then do your dark and go over with your light. But then you seem to run out of your light quite quickly. Whereas if you start with your dark and then go over with your light, you're sort of using about the same. Just giving that a bit of a look. I should have probably pre-done this, but I didn't, so I'm very, very sorry. So it may be a bit boring. But yeah, so just bringing in the colour. And because I've used embossing powder, I can't just colour over because these will actually colour your embossing. But I want the gold to show through because it's pretty. Creating this is probably the only time I don't put the lids back on as soon as I've finished colouring, but because I'm doing tiny sections and bringing it up. And I've got a few samples that I can show you as well that I've done, which will bring out at the end. I finished so that's two of them, one more to go, one more leaf to go. Well, one more leaf, one more flower. What am I talking about? So I'll do all that. Hello, Lucia. Welcome. How are you today? What's it like in Melbourne? It's warm here, but very windy. Oh, I've just gold heat embossed all the items that I want for my card, and we're now just doing a little bit of colouring using real red on the flowers of this particular image that comes. I'm using the Traditions of Christmas suite. Well, most of the suite, but not all. Okay, pop that there. And there is the flower. I am going to, in the dark red, I am also going to colour the whole of the rib of the bow. Super windy. Thank you, darling. So I'm going to use the red, even though I'm going to probably cover 90% of it. But when you see it, you'll see what I'm doing, and you will understand. It's a little bit hard to explain when you can't see the card. So that's all the red done. And now I'm going to go in with the granny apple. So I'm going to take the dark and I'm going to create a shadow on the bottom of the leaves, just like so. Just give it a bit of a shaded look, keeping it all to the same side. And, whoops, I've missed one. And then come in and come up with the light over on the other side. So just pop that in place. We'll do that. Come in with this one. This was, when I saw this suite, it was one that I felt straight away that I had to get. I love traditional Christmas. And in saying that, I also like it when it's a bit different. You know, when people go different colours and so forth. But I'm probably a traditionalist at heart when I look at these sort of things. So come in here. Colour those. And I'm going to put a little bit of colour where I've got the gold, these ferns. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Lost Lagoon, just for something a little bit lighter and a little bit different. I thought it looked pretty, so hopefully you like it too. Now I'm just feathering it out. I'm calling them ferns, but they're really pine needles. So we're just adding that little bit of colour, just something different on that. So I'm going to take my insert piece and I'm going to do the same colourings as I've done on the other one. So again, as I said, I probably should have, but I did change my mind on this one at the very last minute. Who does not like colouring? I think the blends allow us to colour a lot better than probably, like I'm no colourer when it comes to watercolouring or pencils. I'm shocking. But the blends, they seem to do a lot of the work and I can create that look. I'm just going very quickly in here. I know I did say to you before, just one leaf at a time, but you've already watched me do it, so you don't need to see me. Do that. So I'm keeping the theme of the flower that I'm using on the front, on the piece that I'm doing for the insert. What's everyone's traditional Christmas colours, if you have a traditional colour? You'd rather fussy cut than colour? But I think you do a great job, Jacinta, Lucia. And Jacinta, yes, I've seen your colouring too. And yeah, I think the blends are forgiving in the fact that as they dry, they blend into each other, which gives us that little bit of a a bonus. Make sure I've got the dark. Let's put the dark on the one side of the leaves, because we know that the sun doesn't shine on both sides of the leaves. You like it but struggle to get a good look? I think, Glenda, it's just a matter of practice. I think the more you use it, the more you will find that you become confident. And Lucia is very good at testing out different colours to create a colour. So, you know, I find that if I can get ideas from other people, such as Lucia, I watch Michael Cattanar quite a lot, and if you don't follow him, please do. It's Michael's Card Art. He is brilliant. Am I right, Jacinta? We were very lucky to have Michael at one of our team meetings, and he taught us so much about colour and how he uses colour, because if you look at some of the creations that he posts, the work in it is, he is a true artist. And he doesn't just only use blends, he uses pencils, daubers, you know, so he has quite a range, but the effect and the look that he gets really amazes me. There we go. So there's that part. So I've got my card base here. So I'm going to fold that over and burnish the score line. Make sure that's nice in place. Now I've got a piece of gold. I've cut a piece of the leaf out of Granny Apple Green, and I've got my base for my gold. And I don't know about you, but you only get 2 sheets when you order it. So I'm pretty frugal when it comes to cutting it out. So this is going to get covered anyway, so who's going to see it? So I'll put that over there. I'm going to take this piece, and I'm just going to, this one I'm not going to colour. I'm going to add that to my gold. Pop the ink, keeping a nice even border around. And when you're using foil, you will find that it takes a minute or 2 to hold, because it can be very, very slippy. Hello, Cherry. You were a happy lady, weren't you? Your guys did very well in the football. Oh, Pat, yeah, I must have been, I have watched her only a couple of times. So she's very handy with tips too. Thanks, Glenda. I will go back and look up some of hers. So I'm going to lay that with some dimensionals. Just don't want to lose them. Pop some dimensionals on the back. And don't be frugal when you're putting your dimensionals on, because if you're sending it to someone, it's got to go through the post. So you want it to be quite sturdy and handy. And take the backs off. And a little tip that I'll tell you all is pop a little bit of glue on the back of your dimensional, especially if you're going to line it up. And you're thinking, but dimensionals have got glue on the back. Well, yes, they have. But when we use liquid glue, we have slippage or wiggle room. Oh, they lost by 2 points. Oh, sorry, I thought they won. Sorry. Shows you how much I follow it to the local league. Right. So we're going to pop that on there, and we're going to just wiggle it into place, because usually when you put the dimensionals down, they grip to the paper, and if you're not careful, it's gone. Okay, there we go. That aside for now. Now what I've, get that out of the way, what I've done is I've taken my leaf, and I'm going to smooth that before I knock it. I'm going to just snip it down because one of these leaves is enough for two. So I'm going to have a look. I'm going to lay that down approximately like so. I'm also going to snip this in two. Now, what I try and do is I look for a spot and then try and follow the line of the pine needle. Remember, it's a pine needle, not a leaf. And I just get in here and follow that line down and trim it until I've got two pieces. Because when we get the card organised, and if it's not quite right, just trim off any little bits that don't look right. So I'm going to pop that piece just like so. Because I've got a gap in here, I'm using the leaf. This leaf has got the gap. So I'm going to pop that over the top like so. So I'll have a look if I've got them right. And that's going to look really nice like so. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue on the back of this, just enough to hold it in place, and then pop some glue on the back of the leaf. And the reason I didn't use two of these leaves is because they're quite big. And so by dividing them up made a big difference. Pop that in place. And I'm not worried, as long as I'm not outside the card, that's all that matters. I'll pop this one down first. Pop that like so. So basically what I'm doing is I'm filling up the blank areas. A little bit of glue here. And pop that like so. So this here is all going to be in the middle, out of sight. So I'm going to take that and it's going to sit like so. So I'm going to get some dimensionals and I'm going to pop them underneath. Has anyone bought this Traditions of Christmas suite or any products from it? Because I think it's gorgeous. But I could be very, very biased. There we go. Take them. I'm going to take that and sit that right over here. So as I said, I've stamped that in gold, so I've given that look at the back. You've got the gold in there. Still got those flowers that we're using, but we've got there. Yeah, the DSP, but you need to do fussy cutting. Be interested to see what you do. So now I'm going to fussy cut around the Merry Christmas. I want to use them. Get them going, and I was planning to do this beforehand so that you weren't watching me do that, because I look at some demonstrators and the way they can zip through it. I like to be a little bit cautious. I think, Lucia, you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, Emma Goddard is very, very quick when it comes to fussy cutting. She just zips around. You watch Emma too, don't you, Cherry? I think my scissors need sharpening. They're just not cutting like they should. I'll try the foil. I'll get my adhesive eraser first to make sure that there's no glue stuck to them, because it has been known to happen to me too. So there we go, nicely. Have you used it yet, Glenda? Or have you just got sitting there waiting to do, or have you been busy with a different set? I think it's beautiful paper. The DSP is absolutely gorgeous. Get that going. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep in camera, but of course, at least the camera's downward facing, otherwise you'd see my tongue sticking out, because that's what I'm inclined to do. I just keep moving the paper till I get what I want. And that is the trick with fussy cutting, is having your blade as close to the centre and moving your paper. When the blade moves away a bit, just stop and move the centre in. Nearly there on this one. And round we go. Nearly there. Later you can tell me which one you like the best out of what I've done. The tongue. Yeah, Emma is so quick. It's to watch her, like, she barely seems to put the scissors in and she's finished. And yeah, I couldn't be that fast. Could not be. Not at all. So the bundle comes with this beautiful, beautiful red ribbon. Absolutely gorgeous. It's like it's got a touch of gold in it, but it's a bit hard to see, and you probably can't see it on the camera. But what I've done is, because it's quite big, and you'll see when I show you one of the samples where I use the full ribbon, I wasn't as keen on it. I think I might have... No, I actually didn't use the full ribbon. I actually got rid of it. So I've actually cut it, sort of cut it in a third, and I'm just going to use this as my bow. So I'm just going to pop the bow. This will fray, but you know what? It gives it a nice look. I just want a bow that's going to sit over the bow. That's why we've gone for the red at the bottom. I will agree with you. And you haven't used it yet. Oh, Glenda, you'll have to post a pic when you've done it, because I'm sure you'll do some nice things with it. Right, so I've just got a nice little bow. As I said, it does fray, so don't panic too much about it. It's got big long ones, you can snip them off like that just did then. It didn't like me. Take that away. And I'm just going to get a glue dot. This is not a hard card that I've done, because those that know me know I don't do hard cards. Yes, that story about your ribbon, hey? Has that not arrived yet? Gee, that's taking a hell of a long time. I think it's taken the scenic route plus some more. And now I'll just trim up. I only want short ends on this. Long ends look nice, but the shorter ends, for what I'm doing today, is what I want. Okay, I'll get my mini dimensionals this time. And I want to place the word Christmas down here. And what did I do with my Mary? Okay, that's sitting right on the card. Have you ever done that where you've gone looking for something and it's right under your nose? And I'm going to put the word Mary there, where I'm actually going to put it only on one side. So knowing what I know on that one, we will get our little minis and just pop them. And I just love the white and gold. Take those off. Pop a little bit of glue here. That's just going to sit on top there. And then again on this one. This is not going to meet up with anything, so we're just going to put the little dimensionals right across. Okay, and then that's going to sit down in this corner. Beautiful gold and white. Now I'm going to get these beautiful flat sequins, and I'm going to bring the gold. No, I actually might use some red. I'm just going to put one, tuck that one a little bit because those big ones are too big for my liking. I might put one just up there, and then eeny, meeny, miny, moe, where do we put it? I think I might sit it just there. There we go. So there's the front of the card. Okay, doll, you take care, Jacinta. On board for delivery today. Okay. I cannot believe how long that order has taken to come, Lucia. It's just ridiculous. So I've stamped, like we've done our inside. It's just a piece of white on white because we don't want to see the colouring. Now, if you want to, you can stamp a saying. I struggle to find sentiments that I feel suit. So we could do that now. Of course, we're going to do an envelope. I reckon, I think we might do it in the gold. Let's see how the paper goes. I have never embossed on an envelope, so this is going to be new. Take my Versamark, and I'm going to take my flowers, like we've got everywhere else. And I'm just going to pop that in that corner and grab the embossing powder. Now this will either be a disaster or it will work, because I've never tried embossing on an envelope, but I'm sure it must be able to be done. I assume you'd have to be very careful that you don't burn. I'll have to do this from the top. There we go. Look at that. There's our envelope and our card. Now, as promised, I'll show you some other ones that I've done. So this one here, same as what we did before, but I've used Lost Lagoon. And then this one is my traditional ones. This one is, I've used the two-step stamping for this one. I've done it on white embossed on black, and I've got mossy meadow in the background. And then this one's the reverse way of this one. So using the different methods and the different ones. So it's amazing how different they look. And of course here I've only got the little blue sequins. There I've used the green, and there I've used the red. But in here I've used the red as well. So as you can see, completely different cards. And so it's not Christmas for you, Cherry. What sort of Christmas things do you look for when you go for stamps? See, I love this because of the poinsettias. And then this, and I think this particular stamp here is one that you would be able to use for any occasion, because just taking that on its own and not worrying about the Christmassy look, you've got a completely, you put bright yellow, blue, all your different colours of flowers, purples. No, I don't want to start a fire, that's for sure. But it worked. It worked, Glenda. Yeah, I was just worried that if it's going through this side, it might burn it, but it worked. So now that the envelope matches the card, and I wouldn't do any more to that. I certainly wouldn't colour it because it would go right through. So, yeah, so there we go. There's our cards and that for today. So I hope I've inspired you on a way of using this set in a different way. And if I can quickly show you a card that I did just to make it look as something completely away from Christmas. So this one's done as a thank you card, and I've got the gold in there. And I know what I haven't done. As soon as I wiggled this around, I realised what I didn't do. And Kay's not online to remind me. We have got to use Winker Stella, don't we? Because you can't have a card without Winker Stella. No. Pop that on. Now it's complete. Oh, yeah, it just gives it that little bit of glitter. You can't pick it up on screen, unfortunately, but there it is. So there's the cards. And I said, now you can get yourselves ready, give you an idea for Christmas. And as I said, there's the non-Christmas one. So it's completely different again. So it's something you can use. So I've had fun making these because, so I went traditional, but then I wanted to see just how white and gold would look to give that effect. So I'm very happy with it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I will say, wish you all a wonderful week. Happy crafting. And I hope that you have great fun, and we'll see you again next Monday. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye for now.